Hey guys, Mr. Garrett here for week 3 of Life Skills. Today we're going to continue this theme of mindfulness, and we're going to practice a grounding exercise. And a grounding exercise is used to kind of keep you grounded on the ground. So if your anxiety or your worries are taking you way off into space and just not feeling right about yourself, then you can practice this exercise. So we're going to practice using our 5 senses. That's sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. So all 5 of our senses, we're going to use those today. So the first thing we want to do is decide how we want to do this. Maybe you get anxious being in the house. That's why I'm outside right now. So I'm going to use this exercise outside. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is list 5 things. These sentences are going to go down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5 things you see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. So we'll go through each of those throughout the video. All right, so the first thing I'm going to practice is 5 things I can see. With this exercise, you should eventually be able to do it within less than a minute, but I'm going to take it slow and show you guys how to do it. So the 5 things I see a swing set, I see that little tree right there, I see the telephone pole, I see the fire pit, I see that yellow sign back there, you can see it. I'll zoom in, there you go, there's another one. And let's go to that big shed back there. Okay, so that's 5 things we can see. And now the point of this is to really focus on those things. If you run through them very quickly, the effect's not gonna go well. So notice that the sign is yellow. There's a black arrow in there. Notice the telephone pole is tall. It's got some cables running through it. The tree has some little buds coming out of it because it's springtime and they're starting to grow. You can notice colors pretty easy. The swing set is brown with green swings. Okay, so that is sight. The next one we're going to practice is touch, and this one's a pretty easy one too. That's where there's 4. So you can touch with your hands or you can touch with your body. So I noticed that I can feel my shoes on my feet. They feel a little bit tight because they're new. They feel good though. I can feel the wind in my hair. I can feel the shirt on my chest, and I can feel my ring on my finger. Okay, so that's 4. You can do, if you're seated, you can see I can feel the seat on my back. I can feel the way my feet are touching the floor. If you're wearing socks, you can notice how warm they are. You can notice how cold you are. Lots of different ways you can feel things. And then the next one we're going to do is hearing. So I'm outside, so I hear lots of noises, and that's going to be good. But I noticed that when we're in school or we're in the house, there might not be a lot of things we can hear. It depends on your house. At my house, we don't have a lot of things going on, so it's pretty quiet. But right now, I can hear the wind blowing in my ears. I can hear the birds chirping and tweeting. And I live next to a road right here, so I can hear traffic going by far off into the distance. I can hear the cars coming, and if you can hear the TV, that's great. If you're listening to music, you can notice different types of music. You can hear the person singing, or you can hear the drums, or you can hear the guitar, or whatever instruments you hear or can identify. You can do that as well. The next part of this grounding exercise is smell. So right now, I can smell outside. I can smell somebody cutting grass. So that fresh cut grass smell, I really like that. And then if I go up to like a flower, I can smell that. But I also smell somebody cooking. So somebody's out grilling where I live. So I can smell that. So those are just 2 things I smell. But as you notice, as we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with the senses, they get more and more difficult, and you have to think harder and harder about the senses. So with the 2, luckily I'm outside and I can smell lots of different things. But if you're in your house, you might not smell anything. So you might have to use what you have around you. Maybe somebody at home's cooking. You got to really pay attention. Or maybe if you walk into another room, because I know my bathroom smells a lot different than my bedroom, because there's lots of like candle warmers and things like that. So I can smell those things. So you have to really concentrate and focus. Or if you have nothing and you're really struggling, think about something you like to smell. So I usually tell some of my friends when I'm counseling that think of smelling some candy or some bacon, something really strong that'll really trigger that sense in your head. Because if you sit and think about bacon, you're like, oh, I remember what that smells like. And that can help you get grounded as well if you have nothing. And finally, the most difficult one is taste. And sometimes we don't have anything in our mouth that we've tasted recently, and we may have to go get something to eat, so we can practice that one. Or you can think of something you'd like to taste. So I just had lunch a little bit ago, and I had some bacon, I had some vegetables, some celery, and I can still taste the bacon in my mouth. But if you have chewing gum or if you have chocolate, I know you all have Easter candy and things like that, you can use that. That would be a good one. So use these skills, this grounding exercise, to help you if you're really anxious or worried or bothered about something. I'd love to hear what you guys think and see you guys practicing. Thanks very much, guys. See ya. One last thing, you guys can keep track of your grounding exercise by creating a chart like this, going from sight, touch, hearing, smelling, and tasting, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you go through it, you can check it right off. There will be a link on my Clever where you guys can print this out, and I will also put this on my Google slide so you can print it out from there. Thanks.